Okay, so I just got done with the Nintendo Direct and I took some notes. Um, some of them are pretty bad notes, but some of them are like some of the greatest notes of all time. So I'm going to be rating the Nintendo Direct and to see if it's even a banger. I see some real big debate on Twitter right now and other places, the comment section. It's got a really bad like to dislike ratio, but more liked because it's Nintendo. But yeah, we're gonna get right into some of these things. I kind of separated them by like the main stuff. I didn't want to repeat anything that was like already announced or anything like that. If I did, it's a really big hitter, and that's the reason why it's on here. Like I have a couple of those that are already announced, and we know that they're coming. Maybe, hopefully, Silk Song. Uh, but yeah, there is a stretch of time where it's just gonna be like I'm just gonna rattle off a bunch of stuff because there's not much to talk about with them. So the first one, they started off with Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World looks really good. We haven't had a new Mario Kart game. I don't remember the date, but sometime the Wii U, I'll throw up on screen whenever we actually had a brand new Mario Kart game because Switch 1 didn't launch with a Mario Kart game. It had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then they added some random stuff like a year or two ago. But yeah, it's open world. There's an elimination race that's really cool. It's a new race that they added. More on that in a minute. There's more racers, so you can have up to 24 racers, and then there's more characters and customizations. So the way that they have it set up now is you can do a normal Grand Prix, and you have your 4 races normally. And so what you do is that you do the race, and then you race to the other race, and so that's what makes it kind of open world. So there's the normal Grand Prix where you do your race, whoever wins, but then you race to the next one, and that's still part of the race. I don't know how exactly they're going to do that. I don't know if that's like, oh, you get here first, you get the best placement. That would be a pretty good way to do it. But then there's a free roam option where you actually go and free roam. I don't know. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that either because I don't see it being able to handle such a thing because they try to do that with Pokemon and they can't even do a free like an open world Pokemon game, and that's like one of the biggest franchise on earth. But the next one is the elimination race, and so this reminds me of if anybody remembers the Need for Speed, what is that game called? It was on Wii. I played it. Whatever, I'll throw it up on screen. It's a Need for Speed one where they're racing across the country, and so it's a big giant race. And I really enjoyed it as a kid. So this is reminding me of that. It's you race through all of the levels, and so whoever at whatever certain point gets eliminated from whatever place they are. And first place, there's only one win. It's kind of like a battle royale, kind of. So I really enjoyed that. Mario Kart World, banger, but. And I'm gonna get into this later. This is awful. This has brought this whole entire Nintendo Direct down for me a lot. $80. This game is going to be 80 fucking doubloons. Why? Why Nintendo? Why? And I'm gonna get more into the pricing later because this is absolutely outrageous of that they're doing this for a Mario Kart game and their future games. Next up, they talked about the Nintendo Switch 2, which of course, why would they not? It's got game chat now. So they made like a Discord like integrated thing that they just made up. It's really cool, but oh my god, why did they show that footage? I'm going to throw up some of the footage right now so that you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that footage is awful. It was literally like they were showing it at like 3 frames per second. I get that when you're screen sharing, it depends on your internet speed, but my god, like Nintendo is like one of the richest companies on earth. Why did they not get like optimum 50,000 what I don't even know what the best internet speed. Japan literally invented the best network speed of all time, and they're not even using that for their commercial, and they made it look like that. How did that get approved? I don't understand. But along that, they introduced the camera. And so plug the camera in, and so you're able to kind of like video chat over your like own gameplay, which is pretty cool. I don't think Discord has anything like that. I think it's like either like, you know, you share your game or you do face cam. That's pretty cool because they're also integrating some games with the camera. And so Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgraded version. We'll talk about that in a second. And so you're able to put your face on your characters or whatever. It's pretty cool. We'll see how that goes. It looked a little iffy in the trailer. It looked a little uncanny, so we'll throw up a couple videos of that as well. Oh, and they have already announced this, but game sharing, that's a pretty cool one. Game sharing is basically if you have one game key, we'll talk about that in a minute. Game key, you can share it with somebody else that's in your house, or you can send it to somebody that's close to you and they can take it, basically like a digital copy of that version. You can't play it anymore. I think you can request it at any point in time, but if it's also a multiplayer game, you're able to play at just the same time. But you can kind of like lend it out basically without giving the game key. That's really cool. And it's bigger. It's 7.9 inches, I wish. And a 1080p with up to 120 FPS. I'm a little skeptical on that. They can't even run games at like 10 FPS that are supposed to run natively on the Switch. Not third party, first party games can't even run like 10 FPS. I don't know how they expect 120 FPS, but you know, we'll see it. I'll have to see it to believe it. LCD, bad. Why are you going back to LCD? You just released a Switch OLED not too long, like a couple years ago. How are you going back to LCD? Are you doing that just so you can make a switch to OLED? Like, I'm assuming that. Anyways, magnetic Joy-Cons. I was curious on how these Joy-Cons were actually going to fit into there. They seem a little stable, more stable than when they first announced it, because it seemed like you were able to just like break it off, which was, you know, whatever. But kids, like I'm not gonna break off my own Switch Joy-Cons, but this is more, you know, targeted at kids, so you know, if they can't break it, then that's fine. It's got a little like kind of like a release like lever on the side of it, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that more than the switching on and off, so good on that. But they can also be used as a mouse. Like you set them up and then you move it around. It's only going to be used for select games, so it's like basically it's their gimmick. And so we're gonna talk more about that because they announced a game that uses that. It's pretty cool. But more storage, that's always good. The original Switch had 32 gigabytes of storage. This one is going to have, I think it said 256 gigs, but you have to pay more. All right. Really? This whole direct is you pay us more money. We gave you cool thing, give us more money. That's this entire direct. And it sucks because you buy these, they're little micro SDs that you can buy, and it upgrades your storage, and that's the only way you're able to upgrade your storage in the actual Switch 1. It's still micro SDs, but it's micro SD Express. X for more money. Yeah. Nintendo got you there. Faster speed because it's Express. Yeah, that's so stupid. They're basically doing what Xbox did with the this is the only compatible storage. I hated it when Xbox did it. I love my Xbox, but that was a miss on their part. 4K in docking mode. That is pretty good if they can actually stand up to it. It said 4K 60 FPS. Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. A lot of this is going to be, I believe it when I see it. 450 buckaroos. 450. 500 if you want it with Mario Kart World. So that's a 30%. That's a, not 30%. That's a $30 discount on Mario Kart World, you know, $450 for a Switch. Whatever. Still going in the Switch 2 kind of ish. Like there's an Astrobot type game. It's called Welcome Tour. Everybody knows what a Switch is. Everybody has a Switch. Why do you need a tour? The only thing is that it's magnetic now. That's it. Whatever. But there's 3 new game types now. I like to call it native, legacy, and upgraded. So there are native games, which is Switch 2 exclusive games that they have announced. And then there's legacy games, which is, I'm pretty sure, if I'm interpreting it correctly, it's any game on the Switch is able to play on it, which is really good. That's extremely good. And if they didn't do that, that would be a major loss on their part. But then there's upgraded games. So moving on to the upgraded games, the Switch 2 part, I'm listing it as a banger with question marks behind it. Because it can be a banger if they do it correctly. There's also things that brought it down, like the $80 price tag and yada. The game chat being a little buggy, but it's still kind of cool. They have cool things, but then they bring it down. So it's kind of like meeting in the middle. But the upgraded versions, there's a Switch 2 edition games. So the ones that they announced were both Zeldas, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting a Switch 2 edition. And so it's upgrading it. It's going to be 60 FPS, hopefully, better graphics, hopefully, and then, all of the above. Basically how they're doing like Series X editions and PS5 upgrades and this and that. Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgrade. Same thing, like if you use the camera and such, you're able to put that in there. That's Switch 2 only that you're able to use the camera on. So Kirby the Forgotten Land is also getting an upgrade, but it's also getting an exclusive DLC. That's pretty cool. Metro Prime 4 and Pokemon ZA, I guess there's a fly on me. I guess they announced those like technically before the Switch 2, so they're calling them Switch 2 editions because it's getting released on both. So I guess, but here's the thing. You gotta pay for all the upgrades. It's not like the Xbox where you buy Call of Duty and you put it in one Xbox and then you put it in the other. It just upgrades on its own. It just does it. You gotta pay for the upgrade. They had all of this good stuff and they almost did it. But then more money. That's all I care about. This next part is I'm just gonna basically go ramble on and on and on. Just because it's just a bunch of games that were either already existing and then are getting ported, or vice versa. The wheelchair basketball game, it's called Drag X Drive. It's a wheelchair basketball game and it uses the mouse controls. It's the one game that they announced that uses the mouse controls besides the Welcome Tour one. So that's going to tell you kind of how to use it. It looks pretty cool. It looks like ARMS. ARMS was that one game that they had that was like their gimmick game. Same thing with this one. It's just a gimmick game, but it's pretty cool looking. Elden Ring on the fucking Switch? Excuse me? Elden Ring? I don't know. The trailer for it was like framey. How is this gonna run on this thing? Like, they get so ambitious. They need to stay like basically in their own lane. Like, the Switch is meant for small little games. Yes, they can have games that are native, barely even run, but they just need small little, like, I wouldn't say family games, because they do make some pretty good, like, not family games. Like Bayonetta was on, Bayonetta 3 is pretty good, and that's on, Switch, and that's rated M. That's fine. It ran pretty good. But Elden Ring? And your trailer was framey? And you're expecting me to believe you can get this up to 120 FPS in 4K docked mode and 60 FPS? No! There's no way! I don't know. There's a game called Daemon X Machina. I actually don't know this one, so I don't really have a rating on it. It looked pretty cool, though. Split Fiction. Split Fiction is a really good game. The actual graphics were horrid. Like in the trailer, the graphics were horrid. It wasn't framey. You could just see through textures and stuff. I just don't understand why they release it like this. Whatever. Madden and Football Club are coming to Switch. I think that's a pretty cool way. If a kid only has a Switch and he likes football and soccer, let him play it. I think that's pretty cool. Tony Hawk 3 and 4 coming to Switch. That's pretty good. 007 got a teaser, but it was priored by Hitman. Hitman is coming to Switch. That's pretty cool too. Bravely Default, I think it's called. It's getting an HD remaster. I don't know if it's a series or anything. I haven't heard of it. My girlfriend's pretty excited for it, so if she's excited for it, then it's good. Yakuza 0, banger coming to Switch. It says a director's cut. I don't know exactly what the difference is. Banger. Here's a big one. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I'm just gonna call that a banger because I know it's gonna be good. I wasn't the biggest fan. I've only played Breath of the Wild. I haven't gotten a chance to play Tears of the Kingdom yet. I mean, it was fine. I didn't think it was my favorite game of all time. I haven't ever played a Zelda game before that, and so I thought it was good. But Hyrule Warriors, The Age of Imprisonment, is a prequel to Breath of the Wild. So it basically, Link is like, still asleep or whatever he's doing. I don't remember. And it kind of shows him what Zelda did to get to that point and like what's happening before, what a prequel does. The next thing that they showed after that was Switch Online, but it's separate. So from what I've gathered, I think I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or not, because I don't like being wrong and then just spreading wrong stuff. I think it's separate, and if you get Nintendo Switch Online on your Switch 1, it doesn't cross over to your Switch 2. So if you get like the family plan, it won't swap over. So everybody needs a Switch 2. I think, I don't know, but GameCube. GameCube. That's what they did to make up for it. A shite ton of GameCube games are coming with the Switch Online expansion plus fuck you, pay us pack. It looks pretty good. They're showing a bunch of GameCube games on there. I think they had like Luigi's Mansion is one that's showing up. The Zelda Wind Waker, it's gonna have online, so you can play all the online games. Like I think it's called F-Zero is a racing game on there that you can play online too, so it's pretty good. But also, hey guys, more money, fuck you, new GameCube controller that you have to use with the Switch 2 that you had to buy. Whatever. See, all these good things are just like mellowed out. It's all like, evening out. More games to, go over. Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, banger. I've heard it's good. I haven't ever played Deltarune yet, but Borderlands 4, I was kind of on it anyways, but it's coming to Switch. Civ 7 barely ran on anything else it came out on. How the hell is this gonna run on a Switch? Whatever. WWE and NBA coming to Switch. Like I said with Madden, they're whatever games, but if a kid only has a Switch and they really like basketball or wrestling, let them play it. I think that's cool. Survival Kids. I don't even fucking know. It looks like a mobile game ad. I don't even know. Gungeon 2. That's pretty good. Pretty good. And then the last one for this section is Starseeker. It is from the same people that made Astroneer. I think it's set in the same universe, it seems like, because it was like an Astroneer game or like a spinoff or something like that. Banger. Astroneer, banger. And if they could do this one right, that's pretty good. And the next big one, the next couple ones are like they finished out with a lot of bangers. I'll let you know. This next one, Cyberpunk 2077. The game that was proven to not run on it. I waited for this game for like almost 10 years when it came out in 2020. I got it on the Xbox One before I was able to get an Xbox One or Series X, whatever they would call it. And it didn't run. It didn't run on anything. It didn't run on consoles. It didn't run on PC. People had the top of the line PCs and were not able to run this game. How do they think it's gonna run on a Switch? I will eat my left toenail if this game is able to run on the Switch without a problem. There is no way this is going to run on the Switch without any problems. I guarantee you. And like I said, I will eat my left toenail if this runs without any problems. Same thing with Elden Ring. There's no way, absolutely no way. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Remake. All right, let's go. Usually JRPGs kind of run good on Switches, so I wonder about this one. It had problems on PC whenever it first came out on PC, but I'm all for not exclusive anymore. It's on PS4. It was originally on PS4 only, and then it got to PC, and now it's on the Switch. That's pretty good. Silksong. It didn't get an announcement. It was up for half a second. It said 2025. You know, how? Okay, so, you know, the next game, really cool looking. Oh my god, this is crazy looking. This kind of reminds me of Bloodborne. My pants get a little tighter. And then I seen FromSoft. They get a little even more tighter. I keep watching the trailer. It's definitely not Bloodborne. Definitely not Bloodborne. But it's got steampunk elements. And then the trailer finishes. And I look down. And my pants are wet. The Duskbloods is FromSoft's next game. It is coming out in 2026, and it is exclusive to the Switch 2. My hope is that this game will run perfectly on the Switch 2, because FromSoft doesn't use the most spectacular of graphics, and if they have been developing it specifically for the Switch 2, I'm so hoping that it's going to run natively. If it does, I'm gonna cream my pants. And this is the only reason, well, not the only reason, there's one more game, that I will be buying a Switch 2. I will be getting a Switch 2, even if I have to ask Santa Claus myself. I do not care. I will be getting one. I really just want to make a video just on this one. Oh, but next one, Kirby Air Ride is coming to Switch. Banger. That's cool. My girlfriend's excited. She's like over the moon for it. Oh, my favorite like Mario games ever. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong is getting a Mario Odyssey type game. And oh my god, it looks so good. I love it. I need it. I need it so bad. This and the Duskbloods are literally like the only reason I want to switch to. I don't know if I'll be getting it like, you know, in the month of June. Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out in June. I don't know if I'll be getting it then, but as soon as I get a Switch 2, I will be getting this one. I do want Mario Kart World, but it $500 for Mario Kart? I don't know. But yeah, that was it. Just game prices in general is what really brought me down with this. Yeah, do whatever you're like everybody else is doing their proprietary, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, storage. If you want to do it, so what, that's standard. But they've raised their digital prices to $80. Their physical prices are $90 now. You can't set this standard. If you do this, everybody else is going to do it. I just threw my notes. They're on the ground. They're on the ground now because I don't even have notes anymore. You can't set this standard for other people to do this. People are not going to be able to afford this. It's the same thing with Magic the Gathering. I love this game. I haven't even been playing it a year. I've wasted so much money on it. I'm going to waste even more money because everybody's just bringing prices up. And if you do this, you're going to set a standard for the entire industry. You are a big hitter, Nintendo. You're one of the biggest companies in the world. Why are you charging this? You just know that people are just going to buy it anyways. You know this. But why not do it gracefully? Why not do it like that? Why charge $90 for a game key? It's not even the game. They tell you in the website. You get it, you put it in, and it still requires internet to download because it's not the game. There's no game on the cards anymore. It makes no sense. Like, I get updating it. That happens. You play it, you need to update it. Whatever. That happens. But there's no game on it anymore. How do you charge $90 for that? Like, I get if you want to maybe up physical because everybody's trying to go digital now. But then you go digital and you got to pay for more storage. But you still have to pay for more storage because there's no game on your cartridge. There's no point in collecting them anymore. You just get digital. There's no point. I can't. That brought everything down so much for me. And I don't know. I really hope that gets changed, or if I'm just completely seeing rumors. But from what I've seen, it's not rumors, and it's how they're doing it. And I swear, if this becomes a precedent inside of the gaming industry, people just can't afford it anymore. It's awful. So, bringing it to my final verdict, I think overall, it was a really good direct. It was really good with the Switch showing off. If the hardware is true to what they say, I think that's going to be a banger of a console. I think it's going to be really good. But if it's not, it's going to be the Wii U to the Wii. It's going to be the same exact thing. I really think so. It's going to sell like hotcakes no matter what. People are going to buy it. But I still think to consumers, it's going to be the Wii U to the Wii. But if they keep true to their word, I think that's going to be one of the best consoles ever released. The games were really, really good. There were some whatever snooze fests, but there were some really good ones. I'm really excited for Dust Bloods, or the Dust Bloods. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for the Donkey Kong game. I'm so excited for the Mario World game, or Mario Kart World. I'm excited for all of it. They just brought it down a lot. So, overall verdict, I think it's teetering on the edge of good. It's not bad in any case because of the things they released about, the games, the Switch. If all that stands true, it's a really good one. If not, then it's one of their poorest. So, yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed, and if you haven't subscribed, I suggest you subscribe. That'd be pretty cool of you. And while you're down there, you should like and comment. That would be pretty cool too. And yeah, I hope everybody has a good night, and I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.